Today, we're going to explore the world of revenue sharing agreements, especially in the context of consumer packaged goods and beverage companies. Other investments where revenue share agreements might make sense could include restaurants, brew pubs, and local sports teams. These industries are fascinating for crowdfunding because they often generate steady sales, but their potential for capital appreciation might not be as high as in some tech ventures. Let's dig into what makes revenue sharing agreements a smart choice for investors and companies in these sectors. First, let's break down what revenue sharing agreements actually are. Essentially, they are a way for investors to receive a direct percentage of the company's revenue over a period of time until a certain agreed upon return is reached. This is particularly attractive with consumer goods and restaurant businesses, where sales revenue might show consistent growth, but not necessarily the kind of rapid growth that would lead to a large capital exist event like an IPO or acquisition. Crowdfunding is an excellent platform for these types of businesses. It allows them to raise funds without diluting ownership, while also engaging directly with their customer base. For investors, it offers a chance to participate in the company's growth in a more direct and potentially steady way. Let's talk numbers. In a typical revenue sharing agreement, a company might agree to share a percentage of its gross revenues every quarter with its investors. This continues until investors receive a predetermined amount, often a multiple of the original investment. For example, if you invest $1,000, you might receive a share of the company's revenue until you've been paid back two times your investment, or $2,000. But how do you know if a revenue share investment is worth it? Start with forecasting likely revenues. One easy framework is to use a triangular distribution, a way to model low, medium, and high revenue scenarios using estimated probabilities. For example, suppose a beverage company estimates annual revenue between $500,000 and $1.5 million. You could assume a pessimistic scenario at $400,000, a most likely case at $1 million, and an optimistic case at $1.4 million. Then assign simple weights, say 1/6 to the low, 4/6 to the middle, and 1/6 to the high. Add these together to get an estimate of what likely revenues might be. Now, let's apply the revenue share terms to a real world example. Suppose the company is offering 5% of its revenue to investors. If projected annual revenue is $1 million, that means $50,000 per year is available to repay everyone who invested. If the total raise was $200,000 and the agreement promises a two times payback, the company needs to return $400,000 in total to the revenue share agreement owners. At $50,000 per year, it would take about 8 years to fully repay investors. So, what does that mean for you? Is that a good return for you? This is where the rule of 72 comes in. It's a simple mental shortcut to estimate how long it takes to double your money. Just divide 72 by the expected annual return. In this case, a 2x return over 8 years means you're earning about 9% per year because 72 divided by 9 equals 8. You can flip the rule too. If you want your money to double in 4 years, you'd need to earn about 18% annually. So now you can ask, does this deal meet my return expectations for the level of risk I'm taking? That's the key question. If the return is too low and the timeline is too long, it may not justify the risk, especially with companies where outcomes are far from certain. This quick calculation can save you from chasing high risk investments that don't offer enough return to justify the wait or the risk. It's also worth noting the alignment of interests. With revenue sharing, companies are incentivized to grow sales and revenues, directly benefiting the investors who share in this revenue. This creates a partnership like feel, where both parties are working towards the same goal, increasing sales. But be aware that if things don't go well, the return on your investment goes down. Of course, it's better to get some return than none, but taking twice as long as planned to get to 2x isn't going to feel good. To sum up, revenue sharing agreements can be a compelling alternative to traditional equity investments, especially in certain sectors that promise steady revenues, but maybe not huge equity upside. For companies, it's an excellent way to raise funds while maintaining control and building a community of engaged investors. But it is important as an investor to know if the details of the revenue share agreement meet reasonable return thresholds. Remember, investing in crowdfunding is not just about chasing the next big tech unicorn. It's also about understanding and participating in different models like revenue sharing, where the returns are tied to the real world performance of companies we can all relate to.